Yo, so it's George here for bitB Cash. In this video, I'm going to bring you a conversation we had with Danny, who plays as Don't March Run on PokerStars, following his completion of 12 months with the bitB Cash stable. Danny had an unbelievably successful 12 months with us. He moved from 100 up to playing 1K pound tables. He won $92,000, and speaking from working with him a lot, he improved an unbelievable amount. Danny had an unbelievable work ethic. He attended all the coaching sessions, more or less. He was constantly posting questions, and he put in a ton of volume at the tables. And I think he can take a lot of credit for his success through his kind of work ethic. Before we launch into the conversation, I think it's really interesting to think about where Danny was before he joined the stable. I've actually got a blog post from Danny here in September 2017, just prior to joining the stable, which I'm going to read word for word because I think it gives a really good grounding of where he's come from. And I think a lot of you who are playing poker professionally now will be able to relate to a lot of what Danny's saying here. So this is Danny reflecting on his year to date in September 2017. I didn't put in enough study away from the tables again. To be honest, I'm not sure I was ready for playing 400. And after playing it for a few weeks, I've realized that some of the regs there are a lot better than me. Moving forwards, I'm either going to get more coaching from someone more reliable than earlier in the year, or perhaps consider a coaching for profit deal! Exclamation mark. I really feel I need to surround myself with good players again, or it's becoming pretty clear that I won't be making enough money in the next couple of years to make this sustainable. So hopefully that provides you with a decent grounding for where Danny was just prior to joining our stable in September 2017. Without any further ado, we'll launch right into the conversation with Danny. Hey Danny. So yeah, thanks for coming on. Firstly, and I've just kind of talked through an intro. Your kind of quote from the end of last year's blog. So I guess it'd be really good to start with just talking about where you were at kind of 1 year ago today and within poker.
Yeah, well, I think this was September 2017. I've played poker for a long time. I started full time in 2009. But yeah, the previous year, 2016-17, I had been transitioning back to six max after playing heads up for quite a while, and yeah, I was struggling to make the same money and play the same stakes that I was used to. So yeah, this post that you have on screen was just me thinking about what the future might be for me and things I might need to change going forward. And I was thinking about joining the CFP, obviously. Yep.
Did you have any backup plans if poker didn't work out for you, or you just kind of like you have to make poker work somehow?
No, I didn't have any specific backup plans. So it's like some things I thought I could fall back onto, but yeah, because I've been playing poker for that long, I knew that would be difficult.
So I guess
yeah.
What you've been playing poker for years and years before this right, and this was kind of your worst year. Do you think why do you think I mean you still made $7,000, it's a lot of money to make from online poker, but obviously as a full-time professional it's kind of not what you're looking for. But why do you think that things had got so much harder in this kind of 2016 to 17 period?
I think I just wasn't studying effectively. I was trying to, but I was doing the wrong stuff. Probably that, and playing heads up for 2 or 3 years, mostly bum hunting. Didn't really made a lot of money doing that, but didn't really improve the thought process or game. Just stagnated pretty much, and yeah, I think it was quite tough to come back and try and get involved in the solvers and stuff, and not really knowing what I was doing.
Yeah, it's not so
Um,
necessary to use the solvers when you're playing strictly one versus one versus people who have just about know the rules. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, awesome. So I guess we should move away from the slightly depressing graph of 2016 to 17 to the much happier one of the year at the stable. So obviously,
Yeah.
you had quite a successful year with us, played a ridiculous amount of hands. I guess let's just start by just talking through kind of the graph itself. Like how did the year go? What stakes were you playing to start with? What stakes did you play to finish with?
Yeah. So like the first maybe 100k hands, I think I was playing 100 NL and some 200 NL. Maybe at the start I was playing just 100, but only for like 10k hands, like kind of to like get some confidence back, and then it started off quite well there. So I think I was playing 200 like pretty quickly. Again, which like that was what the previous graph was, like 100 and 200, just kind of 1 BB for the previous year. But yeah, I kind of pretty much noticed an instant improvement and helped my confidence quite a lot as well. So by about 100k hands, I think I'm not absolutely sure about that, but I think I was playing. I did 400 in by then, maybe
Yep.
something around then, and then yeah, that probably makes sense. And then maybe about 150k hands I started adding in 600 as well, which was maybe getting ahead of myself. But
Yeah, the little downswing there.
yeah, I think I regretted that quite quickly. But yeah, since then I've like I think I dropped 600 during this, and then at some point I added it back in maybe here, and then at some point I added in 1k as well.
Yep.
Not sure where, but yeah, that's what I've been playing for the last 6 months maybe, like table selecting pretty hard at 1k and even 600 obviously, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm playing those games. I'm still playing 200 though, which I don't know if it's the best idea, but I like to get volume in and try to like, yeah,
Yeah.
just
I think
even out the variance as much as possible. And
the hardest thing is
um,
respecting the stake when you're playing 1k pound tables and 200 NL tables at the same time. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I think yeah, I mean like we'll move on in a second to what you think specifically helped you make such a big improvement. But the thing I always want to emphasize every time I see this graph to anyone watching is just think about the fact that it's 800,000 hands at regular tables in 1 year, and for a lot of people, that kind of 200,000 hand sample at the start would literally be their yearly volume at regular tables if they were game selecting. And I think it is important to
yeah,
realize that like you did actually really knuckle down and make sure you put the hours in to get the best benefit from the coaching, because this is like 2,000 hours ish of play, which is really quite impressive, and kind of makes you think at every point like, what if you just paid 500k hands in a year like most people do? That's 40k dollars, which is a good year, but not the kind of
mm.
unbelievable year we've had here. I mean, yeah, I think we may as well move on to saying like, what do you think specifically about the bitB cash coaching for profit helped you make such a big improvement this year and kind of make over 10 times what you made the year before?
um, I think it's like quite difficult to say because there's so many things, but like you can see by like the kind of instant improvement that you guys just have like solid baseline strategies that are quite easy to implement compared to what you might think of it, I guess. So yeah, I think that's where the instant improvement came from, and like but
Yeah,
yeah,
I
with
think
regards to like moving up and stuff, I think it was like really handy to have just people on hand like all the time to ask questions to, and like um having regular coaching sessions
yeah,
was good as well. Like
I think the way that I kind of we kind of want it to work, and I think it has definitely worked that way for you, is that you get the kind of instant baseline strategies which basically allow you to not make any big mistakes in all of the common spots. And then
yeah,
from there, you can kind of build on the fact that you've got access to Ishtar, who's arguably the best 500 Zoom player ever. You've got Daryl, who's playing kind of battling at 2K now, lives near Linus. And that kind of, once you've got the baseline in place, that kind of constant exposure to talking through hands can kind of allow you to just keep iterating up to a kind of a really high level of play. What do you feel like the kind of other players in the group make a difference? That the community that we have.
Yeah, I think like at a certain point when I was in the stable, loads of guys had completed their time and stuff, but so the community wasn't as good as it is now. But now it's looking really good. I've always had another guy, Davidas, who joined like the same time as me. We kind of like buddied up and like did a lot of studying ourselves, and that's been really good. Like finding him through the stable, it works really well. Like because you're both kind of learning the same sort of baseline strategy and like hearing the same things from the different coaches, and yeah, I don't know. I think we've done some good work together over the year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know you guys have done a lot of sessions like outside of the main group study sessions as well, and it kind of is obvious as well in both the fact that both of you have kind of had really good years through it. I guess I'd like to also ask, how do you feel the kind of the work with the solvers? I mean, obviously without giving too much away, but like, do you think the work with the solvers is kind of worthwhile with the stable, and how does it compare to what you were doing before you joined?
Yeah, it's completely different thing what we were doing. Like, so the stuff we do is like it's just far more applicable to like in-game play. I think, well, I definitely would get way too caught up in like complex strategies, and basically I had no idea what I was doing when I was using the solver, and it was just way like overwhelming for me, I think. Whereas now, like, I can just run sims and like, yeah, I just get a lot more out of any time I go and open up pile, and I think it starts to like some of it, especially the work that you've done. I think you're probably the best in the stable with the solver. That's been really good, yeah.
Yeah, but
I think we can. I think I can still like get a lot better, and there's like loads of other cool stuff that we could do.
But yeah,
I think I'm quite happy with the progress I've made with Biosolver.
I think that's like one of the most important things about what we do as well, is that you can just waste time using solvers, and I think at least I hope that we're good at kind of giving direction and making sure that every hour you spend studying is kind of really plus EV compared to playing. And yeah, thanks for the compliment on saying I'm the best at the solver. I think I'd take the privilege of being the best with the solver and the worst at actual poker among the coaches, so it kind of balances out nicely. I guess moving on, what advice would you have, firstly, for anyone who's kind of on the fence thinking about joining the coaching for profits with bitB Cash? And then secondly, for anyone who's kind of already joined and is early in the program and wants to make sure they get the most out of it.
Well, I would say, when I was thinking about joining, I had to think about it for a long, long time. Like, it's a big decision and like a year-long commitment, and hopefully quite a lot of money commitment if you do well. So I would say just think it through a lot, but also consider the alternatives. Like, I think if you put the work in the stable, then like it'd be pretty difficult to fail. Like, you'd need to not, if you put enough hands in, put the work in at studying, like, I think you're guaranteed to get results.
Yeah, all the infrastructure's in place if you kind of apply yourself.
I don't. Yeah. Maybe guaranteed to get results isn't the best thing.
Yeah, we're not one of those clickbait internet articles. Put these 40 hours a week in, and you're guaranteed to make 100k, just like Danny.
Yeah, that's probably not ideal, but I think it would be like difficult to fail. I don't know. Everyone's own situation is different, I guess. But yeah, I couldn't recommend the stable enough, really.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, just drawing on that. I think, like, as much as I want this to be this is going to go on YouTube. I want this to be a promotional video. I want people to see this and want to join the stable. But equally, you have to emphasize the fact that I think you can take a lot of credit along with the coaches for your results just by the fact that you have gone out, attended every session, which is not something that everyone does. Asked more questions outside the session as well, and still played 800,000 hands at reg tables in a year with good game selection. And I think that's a lot of kind of says a lot about you, and obviously you can take tons and tons of credit for it yourself.
Yeah.
But hopefully we can claim to have had something to do with it.
Yeah, that's definitely true. If you're like looking for a quick fix or like not prepared to put the effort in, then you're probably better off not joining. Like
you're probably better off not playing poker at that stage, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, just wasting your own time and coach's time probably. Yeah, I think with regards to the people that are in the stable now, are like if you want to get the best from it, it's just obvious. Like put the hours in. Like attend all the coaching sessions and ask questions. Maybe try and buddy up with someone else who's started around the same time. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, watch all the videos.
Just commit to it. Yeah, no, the videos were great at the start as well. Yeah.
I think I guess we'll keep this kind of as a shorter conversation, but what would you say about the different coaches, like the different styles they bring? Because I think it's always quite interesting to think of the differences between how myself, Donald, Daryl, and Ishtar actually play. Did you kind of notice any differences there, or anything specifically that certain people were brought more to?
That was it was quite one of the fun things. Like after maybe 3 or 4 months, me and Davidas, we would talk we'd talk about hands and we'd say, oh, Josh would say this, whatever it was, Ishtar would do this. And it's just quite interesting to notice differences in people's playing style. Not just the playing style, like the way they teach as well. Like you can take different things from different people.
I think it's I always think it's really interesting because obviously, I mean, all of us are winning a decent chunk at poker, but I think like every time I watch a video from Ishtar myself, I learn a lot. Every time I speak to Daryl or Donald, I learn a lot, and generally don't fold anywhere near as much for a couple of days afterwards. And then
well, it's funny that, because I don't know if you want specific examples, but like Ishtar, I don't know, like after watching some of his like hero folds, Ishtar that can kind of
But yeah, anyway, we should probably try and not give away too much about everyone's different play style, but I do think it's interesting how we all kind of think the same way, but have slight adjustments, which I think is the benefit of being in a stable where you have access to kind of 4 actively playing coaches, which isn't necessarily the case for everywhere on the market. I guess that to finish off with, what's next for you? Kind of what are your plans within poker? What kind of games you're going to be trying to play going forward?
I'm still going to be playing probably 200 to 1k, but I've added another site in the past month. Hopefully at some point I might just drop 200 and if there's enough games, play 400 to 1k for a bit. I don't know how much room for progression is beyond that, but
not
fancy. Quite happy enough.
Not fancy. Just trying this Chinese sites that everyone keeps talking about.
Seems a little bit risky for me. I'm not really too sure about that, but I think the games are like, if you multi-site, the games are decent enough anyway.
Without resorting to the Chinese cesspool of whatever's going on over there.
yeah. I mean, it's tempting, obviously, but probably not for me at this point. Too much risk. Like if you're playing high stakes on those sites, then you could. It's a lot of money to trust in someone that you don't really know.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Just going forward, like I'm going to be remaining in the stable like for however long you guys will have me. Hopefully, just like providing another voice on certain topics, trying to help out some of the newer guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and just
I mean,
I think it's like.
I can't see us kicking you in the near future anyway. Just having as a kind of mentor style voice to kind of talk people through, like as someone who's been through the process. And obviously within this graph, like you broke even for 200k hands at one point. Like I think that's something which brings a lot to kind of talk through that can happen and will happen, and how to deal with it, etc. Is really useful for the other guys. Anyway, yeah, thanks for obviously giving us the time to talk, Danny, and obviously an absolutely amazing year at the stable. Hopefully for anyone watching this, it's given you some incentive to think about applying. If you have any questions, reach out to me on 2+2 Plastic Elephant, or if you Google bitB poker staking, you can find an application form on that website. And I'm sure, I hesitate to say this, but I'm sure Danny wouldn't mind answering any questions as well. If you want to reach out to him.
Death for Glory 0 on 2+2.
Yeah.
Just PM me.
Awesome. Okay, thanks, Danny, and good luck for the rest of the year.
Cheers, George.